I'd like to talk today about Medicare and the projected cuts that the GOP is talking about for the plan that FDR put in place at the beginning of the Second New Deal in 1936. In 1928, Herbert Hoover was president, and in 1929, we had Black Friday and we had the Great Depression. And Herbert Hoover was in a long line of Republican presidents that had ruled over the country after the Civil War. And the GOP, just like today, was not the help at all for anyone who was working. The GOP was behind the monopolies and busting up unions. The reason why we have a Labor Day is because of the progressive movement that fought against it. Now, some of the Republican leaders were good. An example would be Theodore Roosevelt and Taft, who both struck out against monopolies, and that's important. But they also drove the Progressive Party. And in 1912, Theodore Roosevelt broke away from the Republican Party and created what we call the Bull Moose Party because during a stump speech, he was shot. Theodore Roosevelt was shot while talking and continued the speech, and he claimed that he was as strong as a bull moose. That's how names for political parties come along. It's amazing. However, I digress, and it's just, I love that aspect of the history of our society. We need to talk about the fundamental change that has occurred in the Republican Party since 1912. Because anyone who says, well, the Democrats love slavery, yes, that's true. The Democratic Party was here in the South and was definitely pro slavery. They were pro slavery 170 years ago. What are they now? That's always the answer. What are they now? They're not pro slavery now, they're for affirmative action. They're for women's rights, they're for trans rights, they're for the development of a middle class again, they're for equality for all people, they're for education and not book burning. What has the GOP done for you? They've taken away student loan relief. They've made it difficult for you to vote. They've made it so your wives, your mothers, your sisters are in danger when they're pregnant, and they've allowed for a preponderance of guns on our streets. Ask yourself this question: are you better off under Republican control or Democratic control? It's not difficult. Vote accordingly.